Call this meeting of the Reno City Council order at 6 p.m., June 9th, 2014. I'd like to invite Ben Reed to the podium, pastor of the Calvary United Methodist Church, to form the invocation for us.
Would you bow with me in prayer? Creator God, we give you thanks for the knowledge of your presence in all of life. We give thanks for this beautiful day and for the gift of rain that you sent upon the earth this morning, that which nourished the land. We acknowledge, Lord God, that we have not always lived as you have wanted us to live. There have been times when we failed to look at others through your eyes rather than our own eyes. Forgive us and open our eyes that we might see you in all people, rich and poor, with no regard to ethnicity or home of origin. We offer this prayer today on behalf of these elected officials of Reno, Texas. We pray that you would grant them an extra measure of wisdom as they seek to do the work of this community. Help them to seek your counsel in all that they do. Like the blind men to whom Jesus brought sight, open their eyes to seek the good of the citizens of Reno and place them above their own wants and desires. Through your wisdom, help the City Council to become aware of ways in which to work with people of differing opinions, to accomplish goals that would bring understanding among all your people and honor you. Above all, help them to seek the greatest common good for all who live and work here. We offer these prayers for wisdom and discernment in the name of the one who calmed storms, fed thousands, and met the needs of others before his own. Hear our prayers, Lord Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I invite you to stand and join us in the pledge of the United States and the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right. Item 4, swearing in of council members. City Secretary.
You just want to say it? You can say it. Okay, you want to repeat after me? I state your name.
I, Amanda Willis,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office of City Council Member
the duties of the office of City Council Member
of the State of Texas
of the State of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Welcome aboard for the TV audience, Amanda Willis, Brandon Thomas, Joey McCarthy, and Rick Jordan. Thank you all. Look forward to working with the returnees and then the new face. All right, roll call.
Joey McCarthy.
Here.
Brandon Thomas.
Here.
Rick Jordan.
Here.
Walter Cooper.
Here.
Amanda Willows.
Here.
Let the record show. Also present, William Huberger, City Attorney David Hamilton, and City Secretary Kara Hubbard taking the minutes.
All right, citizen comments. Anyone sign in?
No, sir.
No, sir. All right, we'll skip that item then. Item 7, discuss, take action on A, electing a mayor pro tem to serve June 2014 and June 2015.
Make a motion to elect Rick Jordan.
I second it.
All right, I'll have a nomination and a second for Mr. Jordan. Any other nominations? All right, hearing none. All in favor of Rick Jordan for Mayor Pro Tem for June 2014, June 10th, 2015? Aye. Opposed? All right. Mr. Jordan, welcome again.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Look forward to serving another year.
Item B, appoint Planning and Zoning Commission members. Number one individual to serve June 2014 to June 2015. Planning and Zoning Commission met on the 27th of May, and they recommend that we appoint Brad Rogers to fill a vacant seat for the term ending June 2015.
Mayor, I make a motion that we appoint Brad Rogers to fill the vacant seat for the term ending June 2015 on Planning and Zoning.
I second.
Have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Jordan, and second by Mr. Cooper, that we appoint Brad Rogers to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a term ending June 2015. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, appoint 3 individuals to serve from June 2014 to June 2016. The 3 current commissioners, Lance Nicholson, Jeff Kinslow, and Bill Arnold, have all expressed an interest in remaining on the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Who are the Lance and who else? Lance Nicholson, who else?
Jeff Kinslow and Bill Arnold.
Was that a motion?
I will make a motion. We'll appoint Lance Nicholson, Jeff Kinslow, and Bill Arnold to the, serve on the Planning and Zoning Commission for June 2014 to June 2016.
I second.
I have a motion by Mr. McCarthy, a second by Mrs. Williams, that we appoint Lance Nicholson, Jeff Kinslow, and Bill Arnold to the Planning and Zoning Commission for terms ending in June 2016. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, appoint 2 individuals to serve on the Street Commission, June 2014, June 2016. The Street Commissioners, Ronnie Nutt and Wendell Kinslow's terms are up, and they've both expressed interest in remaining on the Street Commission.
I make a motion to appoint Ronnie Nutt and Wendell Kinslow, 2014 to the 2016 Street Commission.
I second the motion.
I'd have a motion by Mr. Willis, second by Mr. Thomas, that we appoint Ronnie Nutt and Wendell Kinslow to the Street Commission that serves through June 2016. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, appoint 5 individuals to fill positions on the Economic Development Committee. All right. The way we've set the Economic Development Committee up, each council member appoints 1 person to serve as their appointee, then the council elects a member of the council to serve as our representative on the Economic Development Committee. Mr. Jordan, Mr. McCarthy, Mr. Thomas, Mrs. Willows all need to make an appointment to the Economic Development Committee, and then the council needs to appoint one of our members to be on the committee. Are you all ready to recommend someone for that appointment tonight?
Yes, I appoint Dennis Reisinger.
My appointment is on the council now, so can I reappoint him and he'll be our spokesperson on the
He can be,
Go ahead.
he can be appointed as the council member, but not as both. So you'll have to appoint somebody, and then if the council, he can stay on, if the council wishes to appoint him as a spokesperson for the council.
Well, Mike Chapman.
No.
Did he just steal you?
I'm sorry.
First come.
This is gonna be a fun year.
I'm sorry.
He spoke up first, so would you appoint Mike Chapman?
No, I'll take it back. I like Mike, no. No, I don't have anybody else at the moment. I'm good.
All right, you wanna wait on yours?
Yeah,
All right.
please.
Brandon?
Okay, I was going to appoint Mike Chapman.
Mr. Jordan?
Mayor, I'm going to reappoint Jeff Wright.
Did you notice who Mike Chapman had appointed? Mike Chapman had Jeff Wright. No,
Reggie
Mike-
McDowell.
Yeah, Reggie McDowell. So he might be somebody that you might ask.
Reggie. He expressed interest in still. I think so. Is it?
What? Yes, he wants to stay as chairman.
Oh, Reggie does?
No.
Or Mike Chapman?
Mike. Is that what we're talking about?
No, Reggie McDowell is on there now, right?
Right.
He's Mike's appointment. And I think he wants to stay. don't you,
Right,
Brad?
right.
So Joey, you could appoint him, I guess.
I'm ready to make my appointment, please.
Okay.
You're Reggie McDowell.
Okay.
All right. Rick Jordan has selected Jeff Wright. Joey McCarthy has selected Reggie McDowell, Brendan Thomas, Mike Chapman, Amanda Willows, Dennis Riesinger. I guess we probably should vote on those four before we
don't have to vote.
We don't have to vote, council?
Everybody appoints their own.
All right, so those people have been appointed. Now the council needs to select one member of the council to be the representative of the council on the Economic Development Committee.
I'll select Brandon Thomas.
Second.
Second.
All right,
You can second.
I second.
all right, I have a motion by Mr. McCarthy, second by Mrs. Willis, that the council appoints Brandon Thomas as our representative of the Economic Development Committee. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you very
I
much.
know you'll keep doing a good job.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
All right, item E, City Council, City Secretary, and/or City Attorney to attend TML newly elected officials orientation July 24th to 25th, 2014 in Bastrop, Texas, or August 15th to the 16th, 2014 in Irving, Texas. You know, I will say, we've been to this conference 2 or 3 different times. It's very informative. You learn a lot. I really would, anyone that hasn't been, highly suggest if you can find time to get off, that, you know, you go to that. You gain a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, very good learning experience. Really is. So we need to pick which date?
I
if there-
think we just leave it open for people's schedules.
Yeah, just make a motion to approve. Anybody that would want to go could go in either of those days. And then I don't know for the new council members if they know the way that they're paid, you know, half of the per diem, and that the hotel's paid and mileage is paid. And then I don't know.
Did you hear that, Brandon?
Yes.
All right.
Now, this is different than the one.
Yeah, the other one was like the law, the 101. This one.
Right.
This was
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a good one to go.
Okay.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the council officials going to the TML newly elected officials orientation, either in Bastrop or in Irving, either for July 24th, 25 in Bastrop or August 15th through 16th of 2014 in Irving.
I second the motion.
Have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Jordan, a second by Mr. Thomas, that we allow the city council, city secretary, and our city attorney to attend one of the two TML newly elected officials' orientations. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, bids for street repairs to Sugar Hill Road and Pine Mill Road and blade patching on Pine Mill Road as recommended by the Street Commission. Mr. Revis.
Mayor, council.
Any questions on this? Jerry, what is blade patching?
It's just kind of, that's what it sounds like. It's just patching, it's bigger areas, patching. They're coming to actually use a motor grader and blade it in. It's just in some areas to try to keep costs down for them. In spots that are not as bad as others, and we can come back to it later time and do some baseball and stuff too.
I see.
Two of our priority one streets. Two of the worst areas we looked at, not just the roads being in bad shape, but also both these areas are traffic hazards also, they're in the corner of the hills. Where we wanted to go with it, get this knocked out. Both areas have to have base for them before we do this.
I'm glad you did that. I thought everybody was going to sleep. Anyone have any questions of the Public Works Director on the proposed street repairs? Street Commission recommended approval of the contract. Direct construction in the amount of $64,207 on Sugar Hill Road and $42,746 on Pine Mill Road. And then the blade patching on Pine Mill at $4,147 for a total of $111,100. We have funds in the budget. If we're going to spend in this budget year, we need to get moving on it.
Yeah, we need to go ahead and get this done. Got some other areas that we may be able to do a little bit more work to. We get this done soon, we're at budget before we get too close to the end of budget.
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the bid from Richard Drake Construction Company.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Thomas with a second by Mr. McCarthy that we accept the bid of Richard Drake Construction Company in the amount of $111,100 for repairs to Pine Mill and Sugar Hill Roads. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item G, 2013 Homeland Security Grant, purchasing of radio equipment. Chief Burke.
Good evening, everybody. Anybody got any questions about the grant, about the information in the packet?
Is this a 100% grant? So all of it comes back
The money, the state's approved money, we just have to spend it and get it reimbursed.
within, what, 90 days, it says?
What it's saying. was originally 60, now they're saying it's been taken about 90 because it's processing.
There's no matching on our part. Right, Chief?
What's the base radios? Those are portable? Oh. How many more?
One VHF base.
One VHF. This grant you wrote? Did you write? Good job. Good job.
The application on this grant is actually what you
Those other ones? Oh, yeah. To the tune of 12,000. I'll make a motion to accept the grant for the 2013 Homeland Security Grant for the purchase of the radio equipment for the police department.
A second.
All right, have a motion by Mr. McCarthy, a second by Mrs. Williams, that we purchase radio equipment from Procom. Both items, all right, handheld radios in the amount of $12,287.12, and base radios in the amount of $3,763.68. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
What are you gonna do with your radios?
passing out to the board. We don't have radios in there.
Item H, interlocal agreement with the Lamar County Sheriff's Office and Paris Police Department for narcotics investigations.
Anybody have any questions on this? This is a fairly cut and dry MOU, and it's more or less what we're doing now. This makes us going to Paris working, Paris coming over to Reno working, us going to the county, vice versa, all three ways, back and forth, official by the sheriff, the chief of police in Paris, and myself, and you all, us, the governing body of Reno. I think it's a good agreement. I think it's a good idea. I think it'll help us communicate a little bit better. I think it'll help us work together a little bit better. About the seizures in the MOU, that's basically what we're doing now. Same thing, your case, your seizure, which makes sense. You do the work, you reap the benefit of it. So I mean, there's nothing really earth-shattering in it at all.
I'll make a motion, we approve the interlocal agreement, MOU with the Lamar County Sheriff's Office and the Paris Police Department for narcotics investigation as set out by Chief Burke.
I second.
Boy, you'll get good with these seconds tonight. We've got a motion by Mr. McCarthy with a second for Mr. Cooper that we enter into the interlocal agreement with Lamar County Sheriff's Office, Paris Police Department for narcotics investigations. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, confidentiality agreement, third-party proprietary economic and financial information between the City of Reno and retail attractions. Mr. Hamilton.
For those of you who were here last time, we had, or maybe it was time before last, the Retail Attractions has requested as a part of their package with us that we agree to some sort of confidentiality of proprietary information. That's like if a big chain restaurant were to come in here and give the council information about their cash flow, their expectations, how much it costs to franchise. That's kind of their confidential information, and they don't want the City of Reno to give that up. The problem as presented was that the first agreement sounded more like a contract, and there were those who said, well, we're not really sure we want to sign that and have it look like the city has responsibility or liability if we don't do this. So this is more phrased in terms of a memo that just gives us a process. If there's an open records request for this, the city will resist it by requesting a ruling from the Attorney General, and then notifying Retail Attractions or whoever the presumed owner is that we have done that. If there's a subpoena for the information, likewise, before we just hand it over, we will notify, and if we need to, we'll assist getting the protective order, motion to quash the subpoena. If there's not time to do that, our obligation is then to ask the court to seal this information and use it in camera because we think it is private. And that's what this agreement, I call it a memo, that's what it does. Has not been approved by Retail Attractions yet. If you want to approve it tonight, I would suggest you do that with the understanding that I'm going to send it to them and say the council has approved it on this date. And there we go.
David, are you, if the city does those things that you just mentioned, in the event that you have that situation, then are you satisfied that our liability is there's no liability on the part of the city there beyond that?
I've never seen anyone who was successfully sued for doing what the law required them to do. And in both, and in all the cases, that's basically what we're saying. If we get a document that requires us to take some legal step before we give your information, we'll at least let you know about it. But if we are required to take that legal step, we'll go a step further and try to protect it. And then if we have to hand that information over, I can't see anyone being successful saying, you did what the law required you to do, and they may be mad about it, but I think that's as far as they'll get.
Is there a cost involved in the other stuff you mentioned?
Well, if there's a letter to the Attorney General that says we're going to request this, then, half hour of my time to get the letter out. If there's a protective order that's requested, about the same amount of time to do that, to give us that insulation. So cost is minimal in return for, I think it's kind of the cost of doing business. The explanation to me was they have some formal arrangement with all their customers regarding this data.
Mayor, I'm going to make a motion that we approve the confidentiality agreement, third-party proprietary economic and financial information between the City of Reno and Retail Attractions, understanding that Retail Attractions has not approved this agreement yet.
I second the motion.
Have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Jordan, excuse me, second by Mr. Thomas, that we approve the confidentiality agreement with the understanding that Retail Attractions has not approved the agreement or accepted the agreement yet. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item J, set date and time for 2014-2015 fiscal year budget workshops. We're coming into budget time. If y'all would, look at your calendars. Send to Kara whatever dates that you are not available from now through the end of September. If there's some dates that you're available, during the day versus night or vice versa, let her know that also, because we've got some dates in September that are mandatory. We've got to have 4 people or 4 council members to take action. And those dates, can be adjusted some if we know far enough in advance that we can do that. With that said, we need to have a meeting as soon as we can to start the budget process, to see where the council stands, where we want to go, what we want to look at doing.
What days are you looking at having a meeting on?
That is up to you all. What we try to do, Brandon, is work around people's work schedules and vacations and family life and all that stuff. You know, the budget, it's probably the most important thing we do. We need everyone involved that we can get. You know, a lot of times we'll have a meeting and it might not last 30 minutes. Sometimes we spend a couple hours on it. You know, we can put time limits on there, you know, if you want to. We're going to meet for an hour for, you know, whatever nights, or 2 hours max.
1 hour. 1 hour and we'll call pizza.
Yeah.
We have ham and turkey.
But you know, the first meeting or two, I see them being relatively short because, you know, staff, myself, we need to find out what you all want done. You know, where we want to look for money, maybe, what we want to do, what are our plans for the coming year. You know, we need just to get some guidance where we'll know where to go and how to proceed.
Right.
You know, just because something's brought up in a budget workshop, there's been lots of things brought up in budget workshops that we want to do that are still laying out there on the table to be done. You know, we know we can't do everything everybody wants every year, but we've got to pick and decide where the priorities lie.
I'd like to see something this year from the department heads as to what they need, you know, because we haven't been seeing it in the last couple of years. Their wish list, their budget, their rough draft, whatever. That's what I'd like to see.
But sure, if y'all want to place a pick of the date tonight, just let Kara know your schedule where we can start picking a date, you know, the real near future.
I'm free, y'all, till the end of the...
That's what I'm saying.
I'm free.
You tell us, we'll be there.
Have no
You're in
plans.
town for the rest of the month, pretty much,
For the rest of, until August.
until August. Okay, so I'll send something out. I'll look at your schedule.
The only thing I can think of right now is July the 7th. I think I'm committed.
Okay, we'll try to do something this month before the July.
You know, we could have noontime meetings if y'all wanted to.
It's like, yeah.
Afternoons, you know, fine.
Once provided. Yeah, that's great.
Can we have a joint meeting the first time
With what?
with the new council about
You know, what I would also like with, you know, the new council, anybody else that wants to set up a time to just sit down where city secretary, get the city attorney involved, police chief and public works director, just go over the way the city operates, the way we're set up. A lot of stuff that you probably want to know, but you might not be comfortable in asking in the first council meeting you sit in. I know I didn't have a whole lot of idea about what to do and what not to. You know, we'll go over the financial information, how it's structured, and that would probably help you quite a bit before we start the budget.
Okay.
So you're gonna get with them and pick a date to do all this? Right. Right. All right, I want to skip item L right now, litigation contract for Mark County Water Supply, move on to item 9, new business consent item. Lord, I can't talk. Discuss, take action. A, approval of monthly bills and purchase orders for May 2014. D, approval of minutes for the May 2014 City Council meetings. C, financial update as of May 31, 2014. D, monthly activity reports from May 2014 from Public Safety Officer, Police Department, Public Works Department, Reno Volunteer Fire Department.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve Item A, B, C, D, and D, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I second.
I have a motion by Mr. McCarthy, second by Mr. Cooper. We approve consent items as read. Any further discussion? I'll make a comment before we do this for especially the new council members. The consent items, what we place on the consent items is run-of-the-mill business, routine items that, most cases don't take any action except, we have to approve some of these items monthly. If there's anything on that consent item that you want to discuss, we can remove it from the consent agenda and discuss it. So just because it's there under consent items doesn't mean you have to consent to it. If you've got a question about it, ask. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, back up to item K, litigation contract for Lamar County Water Supply. That item needs to be heard in executive session due to the lawsuit and litigation going on with Lamar County Water, unless some member of the council objects. Hearing none, the city council adjourned the executive session under Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, discuss litigation contract for Lamar County Water Supply at 6:27 p.m. Let the record show the Reno City Council is reconvened in open session at 7:21 p.m. Item 7K, litigation contract for Lamar County Water Supply.
Mr. Mayor, I would appreciate a motion that allows whomever is going to attend the mediation settlement conference the last week in July from the City Council to have the authority to attend that mediation and settlement authority for the lawsuit with Lamar County Water Supply.
I'll make a motion for what he just said. I can't repeat
I
that.
second.
I have a motion by Mr. McCarthy, with a second by Mr. Cooper, that we allow that whoever from the city council attends the mediation in Texas County has authority to attend and have settlement authority. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. There are no further items on the agenda. I will declare the meeting adjourned.